people in Jacksonville connected to Caribbean base. There's a lot of issues with organizing over here in the USA, and there's a lot of hidden history. But the UNIAA has always been about Caribbean based, and communities. It was started in Jamaica, but it's a lot of politics involved, both sides. But I don't see anybody from Jacksonville on the call. They didn't say they weren't gonna show up. I invited Miami too. Um, so you're here from Jamaica, brother Barnett,
Yes, I'm
sister
here from.
and sister Edna. Well, based on previous calls, um, sister Edna, we know you guys have like community councils in barrios, neighborhood council.
Yeah. Tender is in Ghana now. In it.
Oh, brother, sister Edna, she's in Curacao, basically
I'm
next
in
to.
Curacao.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're setting up basically the whole idea of an empire, the African Communities League, and the empire is we're saying it's based on the villages and having the villages have the African culture, just like the Nyabingi royal circles. We're saying that's the true version of what the UNIA was supposed to develop into. There's a lot of
Oh,
UNIA groups. A lot of them are political or business oriented, but it was supposed to be in the context of having African culture and government and the family and the village. That's the real empire. So it's saying we should be community based branches, local branches. It shouldn't be centralized. But we're building one connected to Igbo land. Curacao has an Igbo chief. We have a larger group. But we're having issues getting everyone on one page. But with Jamaica, we saw that there's a Jamaican village or community development ministry. So
mhm.
we're looking at the fact that the Maroons have villages and a lot of Caribbean. There's the captured land, crown land movement. They're looking at
Mhm.
the village ministry, seeing if we could just get village to village development and establish communication with Africa, even if there's cultural transfer, anything. We're looking at the stock market for finances, but it's just going to be village to village communication, basically. Uh,
Okay.
oh, and I have brother Ross Marvin. He's also from Jamaica, but he lives in Atlanta, USA. He's one of the few people carrying on the whole legacy of the UNI as a government and a human rights format. He doesn't put politics into it, but he's in Atlanta and he's experienced with rocket science and computer database keeping databases. So I invited him because he has knowledge of Jamaica, and we're just going over the idea of local royal communities like the Rastafari movement is trying, but just having the Igbos in Jamaica work with people. We're trying to draw Jacksonville into it. The best I have from Jacksonville is that they said publish they could publish the report. If we consolidate a report and say what we're doing, they could use that to basically put that in the newspaper, the Florida Star. And some of them are organizers there, so but it's hard to get them on one call and ever have everything orderly. But so I'm just saying, let's focus on the Caribbean. Jamaica's here, uh, Trinidad, and other calls. Let's just focus on the Caribbean. Some people didn't like that idea. Some people did. Some people in Texas, Jacksonville, Florida, they got a newspaper they're offering us. Um, so that's what's going on basically. We can. I don't know if anybody has anything to say. My idea is just to work with the Maroons, the brother Congoy, grassroots, and the government too of Jamaica, and we try to get Guyana too. Came up as something that has neighborhood councils where we could basically try to put a program through the government for Black people to meet using those neighborhood councils. But we're going to need finances. So, but that was just basically the point of the call to establish village and community councils and ways to spread information.
Oh,
Eventually get to traveling and things. That was just to introduce everybody. But a lot of people in Florida they didn't RSVP and they didn't pick up the phone. So The best I have is a newspaper at this point.
Okay. So tell me the group base in what area? The head base for this group,
Where I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. Uh,
Florida.
yeah, I'm
Base
Florida.
in
Basically, it flows into the Northern Antilles. So I was trying to get Miami to coordinate with us. Some of them are in the group, but Miami, sometimes they pick up the call, sometimes they don't. I don't know if you can create something high level if they're not very responsive. So,
okay.
but Jamaica to Jacksonville, we can confirm that. Yeah, we can confirm that we'll be meeting in Jacksonville, Texas, and maybe Baltimore, DC. But the Texas contact is from Haiti, so he's Caribbean and he wants to know what's going on in Haiti right now. We're trying to develop that government at the village level too. They call it the Lakou or the courtyard. All the villages or houses share a courtyard where they meet in an African circle, just like the Nai Bingi circle. So it's all connected. So, but a lot of activists in the USA, they're used to just talking to each other, not used to checking in with other governments and communities. I think they feel chained down. So I'm just seeing who is more compliant. So I got so that's it. It's not really complicated. We have paperwork and documents, but that was just it. I was trying to introduce people in Florida, but they didn't pick up the call. So it's all right. Yeah, but
Greetings, family.
greetings,
Greetings, family.
greetings.
Uh,
Greetings.
yes, Ross Marvin, Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Chizero, first of all, thank you so much for that big, big introduction. But I'm just your brother, and he had asked if anybody have anything important to share and thing. So imagine this, y'all. Everybody that you ever came in contact with throughout your whole life, you have their contact at your fingertips. Can anybody imagine that?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And the same goes not just for us as individuals, but as organizations too. Okay. So imagine that as an organization, I heard you say, Brother Chisero, that people come and go, something like that, or, not everybody is here right now. But the secret is to have everybody whoever you the nation you're building, have everybody whoever contacted or you had a relationship with or was interested in the works, to have all of their contacts at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, is that unification ain't gonna happen by magic. It has to be built one brother, one sister at a time. So documentation is very vital. So you mentioned I do rocket science and everything. I'm a mechanical engineer by degree, but what engineers do, they take a raw material that exists on the earth or above the earth and convert it into something that is beneficial to humanity. For example, Pennsylvania is a state, and if you go dig down in that dirt in Pennsylvania, there's a lot of iron ore. So what the engineers do, they dig out the dirt, and iron ore basically is the element iron bonded to oxygen. So engineers separate the oxygen from the iron and get pure iron. And then they use that pure iron to make railroad tracks, spoons, forks, tire rims, anything that is metal. So what we don't see as African people is that we have the most valuable resource, more valuable than diamonds and gold and iron and everything else. And we have to apply the engineering strategy to it. What we have that's more valuable than all of that is we ourselves, each one of us. So we got to gather, document, and organize our people
Can
in
I
all
interject?
areas.
Can I interject?
Come in, my brethren.
Yes, Clifford Barnett, Jamaica. What you have saying ourselves, you are perfectly right. Because while
Seen.
speaking about what the metal of the earth, we we are the mother and father of creation. So that make us more valuable than anything on the face of the earth.
Seen. You
Right?
see what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Go on, go
So
on.
no man, you go
Because
and I just interject to put in my little 2 cents on the argument that you are on now.
yes, my brethren, because the reason why we're the most valuable, because we are divine beings made
Right,
from Jah. Seeing?
right,
Iron can't think for itself. You know,
right.
all of them things on the earth, above the earth. We is the greatest of the greatest. You know, I'm coming in at work, open up the building and thing. I have to turn off the alarm. That's what you hear in the background. Just turn off the alarm, turn on the light, and open up for everybody to come in. But me, I say, we is the most valuable thing. So
You
go
know,
back to what
our our only problem, and it's one of the most simplest problem,
Mhm.
is unity.
No, no, no. That's a simple problem, you know, because as I said in the beginning, unification is not going to happen by magic. It has to be built, one brother, one sister at a time. So by the gathering and by documenting everybody that either as an individual that we met through our life and have their information at our fingertips, or as an organization, which is the circumstance we're dealing with this morning, everybody, whoever, because with the same, all Black organizations have the same problem. When it comes time for gathering or meeting or whatever, the majority don't show up. But if you have the contact for the majority, that's the key, because you can keep the communication open with everybody you run into and everybody that you ever express interest. Morning. You
All
see
right.
what I'm saying? So, Brother Chisaro, as organizations, how organizations gather and document people is through a membership form or an interest form. We have to set up one of that for the works where you do, because you're the only person whom we know who's trying to unite across country borders, you know, directly, internationally, and tie it back to the foundation of Africa and with culture in Africa and the UNIA. So we have to document brethren and sisters who's interested in this. But even more powerful, brethren and sisters, what's even more powerful is that we, first of all, what is the biggest social network in the world?
Twitter or Facebook. Or,
Yeah, I would agree with that. That Facebook is the most biggest social network in the world. But when I did the Google research, fluid network as Black people, they say Facebook have 4 point something billion. And then I did the research on Black people. We have over 11 point something billion, according to Google. So fluid network is 3 times as big as Facebook.
mm,
So if we don't start gathering, documenting each person we gather and save their contact, a unity are being built, you know.
The thing is, we do have this forum. I didn't invite the most, reliable people. Like I have government contacts where I live in Jacksonville. It's connected basically historically to there's a U.S. government department for African American
Question.
African American Caribbean heritage. So I have government contact, but it's the grassroots organization that they say they want to do this and that. I say I have reliable government contacts. I can contact governments overseas. We
Question.
they say they're interested, then they disappear. So I have more reliable
Oh,
contacts.
they can't disappear if you have their contact information. So
Well,
you
yeah.
see why we have to take engineering and deal with the movement, put in
Mhm.
the movement because yeah, the earth might say the iron ore disappear when the engineers take it out of the ground,
Mhm.
but it can't disappear because it's transferred into something else. And
Mhm.
what do one of the science principles say when it comes to
En-
atoms and
e-
molecules?
Energy can't be destroyed.
Yeah, it can't be destroyed. It's just transferred into a different form. So the question that I had when you said you have a lot of government contacts, Brother Chizero, do you have it in a spreadsheet?
Um, no, not especially.
Okay, okay. Then you can't use it.
Mhm.
Okay, efficiently. You can use it one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. But that there's hundreds and thousands and millions and billions of us that we got to document.
Mhm.
And that's the internal works that has to be done. So, Brother Chizero, I did it for the Collective Black People Movement Organization, where currently our database, our spreadsheet, have 600,000, more than 500,000 data cells of information on our people's skills, talents, and intelligence.
Mhm.
So, got to design an application for the works you're doing, Brother Chizero,
Right.
that
Mhm.
that each
Mhm.
person can fill out, and you have to make it like how Marcus did it. There's no more genius because what did you mention, Brother Chizero, earlier in this call?
Mhm.
We need financing. We need financing. The biggest financing, according to Marcus, is membership dues.
Right. Right. Good.
It's so if you can create an application and have a membership due thing that's something like Marcus, $3 a month.
Yeah, we have.
People would
This is the thing. I already given out this plan to people, even in the older UNIA, and I said that we have people. I offered to introduce people who can do all that and are doing that. Because where I'm from in Nigeria, if you don't know, they call it the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The original plan was to have the Federation of Africa, United States of Africa. We have like states with tens of millions of people, engineers, statesmen, engineers. We have everything. So it's like I introduced people in the USA to this, even in the UNIA, and then some of them ran off with my members, and they ignored all
they
the
can't
calls.
run off they
And,
can't run off
man, they ran off.
with
They ran off. They didn't want. They weren't for the works. So
no, what I'm saying is that don't worry about that. Allow everybody to be themselves. Allow things to exist like how nature exists. Is the reason why they did that is because whether the ancestors, the father, or them themselves has pulled themselves in a different direction. But don't watch that. Because as long as you have their contact information, their email, their phone number, even address, and so on in the spreadsheet, and each of the columns in the spreadsheet have to be the things then that you need to build this federation from out of Nigeria, from out of Africa. So you need to know what city they're in, what if it's America, what state, or if it's in the world, what country, what is their skill as far as what can they bring to the movement, what is their phone number, what is their email address, what is their physical address, what is their website. All of this stuff have to go in a spreadsheet because
Right.
once it's in the spreadsheet now, whether them gone run off or whatever them do, you have their email, so them can't run from them phone number and them email.
mm,
So what we do with the CBPM and 421 UNIA is that we have 498 members, 2 members away from 500, which Constitution says we have to be official division. But all of them people you run off too. Not all of them. I say 90% of them run off too. But we have their contact and their phone number. So we take all of their phone number. We have a program that we just have everybody's phone number in the division in this program. And it's a 160 character message. We hit BOP and it automatically send a text message to all of them. Then with the email, what we do is that's also a column in the spreadsheet. So we go down and copy the whole column of emails. The CBPM is thousands of members. We have 3,390 members. Copy the whole thing and paste it in the BCC, blind carbon copy email that send out whatever message we need to get to them.
Mm.
So this is what all Black people, African people need to do. Because
Exactly.
FUI Network is bigger than FIDEM Network.
Mm-hmm.
But the greatest thing that we have to do as African people is what Brother Chisaro has done. Okay, I'm not talking about the works what Brother Chisaro is doing. That is great, but there's something even greater than that. We have to build the one body of our people. The one body of our people. That means all of us. Don't matter what our spirituality is, where we're born, where we come from, as long as we're African, as Garvey said, all we have to be documented into one body. And that's what the collective Black people movement doing. And Chisaro, he already joined in. And with the collective Black people movement, you don't need money. The dues is 27 cents a day. We ask those who can give it, give it. Brother Chisaro gave 27 cents a day for years since he joined CBPM.
I
So
don't
that's
know.
the greatest thing. The greatest thing that we can do is be part of that whole one body. And we can still be with self within the one body, because all members of the CBPM who have an organization or business get a web page at the CBPM website. So Brother Chisaro have a web page up at the CBPM website as we speak right now to promote and support and strengthen the works that he's doing. And there should be a membership application to join the works of what he's doing on his page, where somebody fill it out and then automatically the next step, it goes to them paying their dues. They pay their dues and then automatically, as you sleep at night, that work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, you wake up and you check your email and you see you get another new member and more funds start coming in. That we got to do in this time, Virgin. And I'm here to help anybody who want to do it. I'm a servant for our people. I have the engineer knowledge to do it because I took a pass, The reason why I have the engineer knowledge, because on the same day Nelson Mandela get out of jail, February 8th, 1990, is the same day they kicked me out of engineering and said me have to retire from nuclear engineering and blacklist me from there. And I could have never get back in engineering. So they said, go out and go back to your people, go out in the wilderness and thing. Yeah, Rasta. We not, because that was back in the early 90s. Dreadlocks wasn't accepted during that time, especially in engineering. So they pushed me back to our people. So I'm saying, all right, go on. Now I use engineering and just unite all Black people, because unification has to be built one brother, one sister at a time. And when each time you add one more brother or sister to that spreadsheet, you're building unification.
Mhm.
No.
I agree with 90% of the things. Just where I'm targeting, the areas are different. Like I lived in USA all my life. I've been overseas for maybe a couple weeks, months, but I see how it's more. I mean, I mean the countries are more black. They're black families, so people will join in groups. It's more opportunity over here in the USA. People are divided. There's a lot of stuff on social media, but in real life, it's not. It's not the same. It would be. I feel it would be better to start overseas, and that's why I have another group where it's a larger, more overseas population. It's like I don't even think it's a
What,
comparison as far as organizing. Where like my strategy really is I've been reaching out to the organizations that exist, like the Caribbean Association, Haitian Association, and they're saying, yeah, let's go. But then, the U.S. government destroyed all Black American organizations, so we're trying to start a Black American organization to work with maybe a Jamaican association, Haitian association, to get the numbers. If you look in USA, we have Carnival that to basically replace Marcus Garvey parades, but they bring out thousands of people with that same strategy. So it's just having an organization for your community and just meeting with us internationally. That's what I've been trying to do, but I think we're getting to that point with, especially with the newspaper offer. But a lot of, I don't know. I feel people had an issue with me focusing on the Caribbean instead of the.
No. Don't watch that. Don't watch that. Because nobody can judge what another man come on earth to do. Everybody got to follow them heart and be true to themselves. So you're being true to yourself. So to hell with everybody else. Okay? There's a reason why the ancestors say you got to do these works. Okay? So it don't matter where the people is. Most of your contacts can be outside the United States. That's all right. But you still have to have them in a spreadsheet. You still have to have their phone number and their email and the information that you need to build up the mission that the ancestors send you on.
Okay.
We have a lot of contacts in Atlanta. That's what I would always thought if we had Atlanta and Miami, they're all related. As far as organizations, we could really take over the Southeast and start moving internationally, traveling. You're the one who knows about the UNIA passports and how they would be able to go from island to island, no matter if the England or King Charles or Dutch Netherlands. We have different headquarters for whoever owns the islands in Europe. We're saying we have African kingdoms now. Let's go village to village and travel and see these places, and not for recreation, but as members of a UNIA government and federations of Africa, East Africa Federation, Sahel Alliance, different East African Federation. They're already in place in Africa. If we just communicate with those villages and say we want to use those federations in Africa, we want to use the federations, or we're building federation in the Caribbean. Let's just have headquarters in USA. That was the idea, and it's taken like 6 years to get to that point, but we're here.
You
Like that.
know, my family, I feel the two of the eye them, the brethren them, and I see um the light that you are trying to shine, and the movements and Black people liberation also. But there are four of us on the line, and I would like a word from the other party who's on the line. Let me hear if we are on the same page, you know.
Yeah,
So
man.
let's remember here, yeah,
Sister,
could you
Sister
chop
Enna,
for me, please?
excuse me, Kiss.
Yes, I'm here.
I nominated her
So,
basically be a headquarters.
oh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hold on, make you speak. Yeah, go
Giselle,
ahead.
go ahead and say what you was gonna say, and I'll
Okay.
interject after
I
you
was I
say.
was just I was nominating her to have basically be the secretary and recorder and keep a database for the Dutch Caribbean. There's a French Caribbean, a British Caribbean. But we said let's organize it in three branches. Basically, it'll be more manageable. So that's why she's been very reliable. So that
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So I'm in the Dutch Caribbean island of Curacao. Um, Although it is majority melanated people, um, they still colonized by the Dutch. They have this Dutch mentality, and um, we too suffer from. Everybody is individual. Like it's real cliquish here. Like one UNIA group doesn't like the Rastafarian community, vice versa, and they prefer to not even work with each other. And that's what is troubling to me, because we're all the same, regardless. And it's just things that have happened decades ago that kind of prevent everybody from coming together. And they're not even like the Rastafarian community. I'm a member of the UNIAACL Division 100 in Curacao. The majority of the Rastafarian community, they want no parts at all. At the end, honestly, they want to start another division here on the island and completely like abandon Division 100. That's sad to me because, you know, we can have the ability to just, you know, branch out, but it's just we're so limited in people. And, you know, we're just starting to branch off and to do different things. And I'm afraid that we're not going to achieve the main goal for our people if we continue to just keep excluding each other and not want to have any communication with each other. You know, it's the same here as in the States. It's just a smaller scale. And that's my opinion.
I said, don't watch that. Yeah, man, don't watch that because
every one of us have the same problem, similar problem, you know, because I'm here in Jamaica as one of the pioneer for Marcus Garvey. I run into election 5 times on the Marcus Garvey People's Political Party in St. James. I've been around Rastafari. I've been the vice chair for Rastafari Coral Garden Benevolent Society from the 2016 up to last year when I tried to move the movements to a next dimension. It becomes an uproar. You know, when the marks like to resign, I said I don't resign from Rastafari work. So them form a council against I, you know, just to keep the movements in one position, you know. Well, I've formed a group now named the King David Arp family, right? I have a group in Accra, Ghana, Marcus Garvey movement. We have some youths have a home, the abandoned it named Arch. Is that home where the abandoned youths them are. Where I give my support to when I can afford to, you know. So that group there, they build some bags and those kind of things where we try to get in Jamaica and I get it through Canada. It was so expensive to get all those stuff here to sell here to support the foundation in Accra. So listening to you people on this line here, I was thinking that probably I have a opportunity now that we can correspond with those people back in Accra and get the movements on a dimension, since it is the UNIA, which I was formerly or still a part of, you know, in Jamaica here. You know, so on a base of where a brethren want to take it, and you say no, that you have to have a spreadsheet which is correct, and everyone should be a member of the movement and pay dues also, because it's very important, because that is what keep the ship rolling. So we are correct. So all we need to know that everyone that on this movement is now ready to move forward collectively with transparency, accountability, and also honesty, because that is what defeat the purpose of Marcus Garvey movements. Whoever rise and whoever moving it right in Jamaica here, we have the same problem, you know. So we need to be more level-headed in what we're doing, and you know, it have reached an age where the world now is at a turning point, and things are changing rapidly. So we need to put ourselves together to as black people who's at the bottom of the table to come now at the head of the table, because what I view and see, all flesh and earth are confused right now. You know, that is when confusion cause war, and that is what's going on now. So we are to put ourselves together.
Yeah.
Know that we
What?
liberated. We have to liberate ourselves. No one can, no other nation of people, race of people can liberate black people. We know that, you know. So we are on the right track, and we introducing ourselves and know ourselves and familiarize with ourselves is very important also,
Mhm.
you know.
We're going to have a larger group call. This one is a smaller. It was literally for one city, and to try to it was literally for one city out of maybe and one headquarters out of maybe 10 or 16 if we count the 6 in the Caribbean. So it's a much larger movement. Like if and you start talking about Africa, these villages, there's entire states made of related people where they have a house of chiefs that they could distribute a movement. But the thing with the Garvey movement, uh people really, since the 60s, people started worshiping politicians, especially Kwame Nkrumah. They start worshiping the political statesmen instead of the village chiefs and the village family structure that was the community. So it's a lot of Accra, for example. People don't even know that it's a kingdom. It's basically a Nigerian kingdom. Like we're related. We take trips back and forth. But a lot of people, they'll just go to a politician, they'll say money, or they'll go to the kids and say, "Hey, this is Marcus Garvey." But they have they have the House of Chiefs, the village meeting, the communities league built into the government, where you can say, "Oh, this is the program." You have to have a solid program first, like to raise money. You bring it to the chiefs, you bring it to the government, traditional sector of the community, and they'll spread the UNIA across the village. But a lot of people, it's more about, oh, I want to be the chief, or I want to be the president, I want to be. This is political. So we have a lot of this. UNIA is function off town hall meetings. We have that all over Africa. Some of the Caribbean, they have town halls and different names. So that was the idea, to work with what's already in place in the government. And it's a
Okay.
lot of egos that get in place, and people use a constitution to back their ego, where they won't ever bring this idea to the government. They'll bring it to some kids, and it never spreads. There's at least two or three Marcus Garvey movement. Well, there's a Marcus Garvey village in Accra, Ghana. There's a Marcus Garvey foundation in Ghana. There's a UNIA Accra in Ghana already. RC 2020, they split up from this UNIA. I heard the President General Michael Duncan's going to Ghana next. He was talking about that on his radio. Everybody's in Ghana, but there's no footprint of the UNIA. They never talked to the chiefs. It's never spread to
What
Nigeria.
is Michael Duncan going to Ghana for?
It was on the community focused radio. Like, there's a brother Heru, a medicine teacher. So everybody goes to Ghana. Ghana is like, if you actually know the history of the people, it's like, most of them are related to Nigeria and Mali. It's like West Africa is really one, and they cross over to East Africa, Central Africa. We're all related. So the fact that these movements are very small is showing we're not doing something right. And there's people making money off of people being interested in Africa, but it's not organized right at all. We're all family members. Like, some people have 20 million, 50 million. They all have divisions built into the government where they can teach. So it's
You
just a
know,
lot of politics going on. When people don't know this about Africa, it's a lot of politics that the UNIA is built into the government, as far as town halls and meetings where you could teach people a
you know
program.
what, what's
Yeah,
happening.
I got to
You know
run
what?
out because I'm there at work and thing. But I just wanted to know if I can make one final word sound before I forward.
Come true, King.
First of all, I have to know the virgin name from out of Jamaica. And what
Clifford
part of
Barnett.
Jamaica? What's thy
Name
name?
it. Name Clifford Barnett
Yes,
from
Brother Clifford.
Montego Bay, St. James.
Okay,
You
okay.
can look at a profile of I and they Google you you go and type in Clifford Barnett, Marcus Garvey People's political party, and you see a
Yeah.
profile of I on it.
Respect, Aya. That is doing some crucial key works for our people just by the position with the I hold, and has so as former president and thing. But here what, Bridget and sister, when I spoke a little earlier, I only told you the first half. I didn't tell you the second half. The second half is our numbers in whatever entity we're dealing with, whether if it's a sister there in the Caribbean saying it's hard to get everybody on one page and to join up is like, division hunting and my brethren Clifford from out Montego Bay
Mhm.
says we might get enough fight from the different members. Brother Chizero said the same thing. May I show you, don't die them enough to watch that. Why that is no problem? Is because me one by myself and any one of us by ourselves can outwork anybody else who's doing works. And we're not going to outwork them physically. We're going to outwork them mentally. Example of outworking them mentally is that each of our entity that we're dealing with, wherever we are, that entity is supposed to grow without we even asking anybody to join. That
Right,
entity, that entity is supposed to get in money without we asking anybody to pay money.
right.
Because let me give you an example on this call. Brother Chizero, when you joined the collective Black People Movement, did I ask you to join?
I don't think so. I don't remember. I don't think
No,
so.
I mean,
No.
me and you never had that conversation. I wake up one day and I see Brother Chizero membership application come in the email. Now, Brother Chizero has paid for years
I don't know if
27 cents a day.
I don't know if I'm
And if
still paying.
don't worry about that, because there's never any past dues owed by any member. So when we set up our organization, we can set up any kind of policy that's beneficial to our people. But Brother Chizero paid over 500 days of 27 cents a day. If you take 27 cents and you times it by 365, it turns out to be $98 and change. So I know it's more than at least 2 or more years that Brother Chizero paid his full dues to the CBPM. Now, Brother Chizero, did I ask you to pay any money to the CBPM?
No.
You,
I don't
you
think
see what I'm trying to tell you, Bridget and sister?
so.
So may I tell you, how you get to this point is to build the biggest African people website in the world,
Hmm.
and that's what we
I
did.
I co-sign that, you know. You know
Yeah,
why I co-sign that? You know why
listen,
I co-sign that? This group here, to what I'm picking up, you know, and I hear Brother Chizero talk about Michael Dunkley and Eru, you know, and I can tell her right off of the bat, so those people are fraud, you know. Whether you want like it or not, those people, what they're talking about, they are
you mean
fraud.
Mike? You said Michael Dunkley. Are you talking about Michael Duncan?
Michael Dunkley, the president,
Okay, President
president.
General. Yeah, man.
His work, I don't approve his work.
You don't have to tell me that. That's why I build locally. I used to be on the hearing body, but once I become President General, I step back because I can't support them. Where am I going with?
No, I see it. You know, he have a thing going on. He have a thing going on in Liberia, where I know of it. You know, and because probably is the person that might have working with him. You know, I don't know, but I don't see the work what he have done. I don't see it up to now. You know,
What?
because
What?
probably him linking up with the wrong people, all right, but that make I can say in a profitable. Well, I know about Eru, Because he was part of the party, and him say a lot of things when I becomes president. He try to undermine my effort to lift up Marcus Garvey, People's Political Party, and put the head of the sentence, and I get a whole heap of fight for that, you know. Even Trail Road, Railroad, the I effort to lift the party again within the era of challenging the government. You understand? The present fraud government around in Jamaica. So you have a whole heap of problem with that, and they try to in him and pose Michael Land. So I have to indict the two of them. They are under indictment from I.
Brother,
And I
Brother Ross Marvin. We've heard all these things before, but my thing with Atlanta was that Atlanta has this perfect structure for UNIA where you see it all the time. The Caribbean groups come together and they teach something or they set a program. I was saying that it should be inserted into the Caribbean islands where all the consulates and ambassadors, all the associations in the islands meet. There's a Virgin Islands Association of Jamaica or Barbados Association of Jamaica and things like that's the perfect structure for a local meeting. And you shouldn't be
right.
a leader. A leader just you shouldn't just be a leader with one or two members or that's what we have going on right now. You should be able to coordinate all the islands and nationalities and communities into a league. And you
Good
see that
morning, my brother.
that's what we've been talking about,
Yeah.
and it's been falling on deaf
Oh, it's
ears.
doing great.
So that's what we're trying to do. A Pan Caribbean, the local structure. The Caribbean region is just as important as any other region in the Black world. Maybe I think it's the Central region because
You're
it
doing the
reach
right thing. You're doing the
North
right thing.
America, reach South America, reach Africa, where we have large blocks: East African Federation, Congo, uh, Zambia. We have a large federations in Africa. It's just I feel we need the Caribbean to take off. So that's why I'm really focusing on it with these next coming calls. But I don't have much to say. But I know of all these organizations, they're not
I
running right.
only want we know the people that we are with. That we don't get sanctioned. That is my action against all the other what I mentioned and my insight in them too. So I just like to make one really know who the person is.
We have a large
That is
self determination group in from Biafra, the Igbo land. They're in Kingston, I think. They're in they just did a tour throughout Jamaica. They were with the Institute of Jamaica Cultural Heritage Foundation. Some of them are professors. Like they're all throughout Jamaica. Some of them did the maroon
Let
tours.
me check.
So we have a strong presence in Jamaica to start building these things and having face to face meetings where you're at. So I was
yes,
looking at
I've met a brethren of that name that you're calling Ibo. I met him recently,
the
just
the
a few days back.
the Biafra
So
Igbo groups. Yeah, we're trying to turn that Biafra, the Eastern Nigeria region, into the United States of Africa platform. They have registration, dues, websites. They have the largest Pan African platform on the planet, actually, from Eastern Nigeria. They're talking about having their own state and their own country in the United Nations. They use the red, black, and green flag, but some things they need to be educated on. But we need, let's say we need to meet at the middle. So that's where it's going. Jamaica,
right.
Trinidad are the basically British Caribbean headquarters. Curacao and the three Guianas, British Guiana, French Guiana, Suriname. That's another headquarters with Curacao. Uh, the three Guianas in Curacao, and but Haiti and Bahamas, French Caribbean. They have a lot of immigration with Haiti, and so it's like six headquarters in the Caribbean. And I'm going to start bringing in USA support from three headquarters. So it's nine headquarters in the West, maybe seven to the East. So it's a lot larger. Africa, like where I'm from, is 50 million people. So they have a lot of these things already, but a lot of people maybe they run because military, but we have the ability. We can put this together. So it's just timing. We all got to go to work. So that's all that's
Yeah.
holding us back.
My sister want to say something, I think.
Oh yes, I wanted to. I had an experience with Michael Duncan this past August at Marcus Garvey Day, and to reiterate about the fraud, they just really self-absorbed, in my opinion. Um, they are focusing on them and their pockets, and nobody else is profiting from
Two things I want to share with
the
you.
movement.
Big up for that draw. and the second thing, I really appreciate you opening the gate in the morning, because that gives me.
I think he's at work. He's at work. I think. Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead. I think you were saying something, Sister Edna.
oh no. Yeah, so I agree with the brother in Jamaica about him being a fraud. I didn't feel as though, he talks a good game. He reminds me of like a preacher
Yeah. Well, the
where
thing.
he's reeling people in,
Yeah.
and the only perfect person that's really profiting is him.
The base of really making profit as far as this is a new whole UNIA with a constitution, very bare minimum, like two members to start in a location. But the stock market, they call it something called a sovereign wealth fund, where communities or nations start their own wealth treasury. They use stock markets, they use gold, they use mineral resources. But we have the ability to connect the Black American business class and sensible people to the Caribbean and to Africa through the stock market. Then you get to agriculture, where agriculture is more like a elite thing. Now, very few people in Black in America have uh, can promote agriculture. They don't have land like that. So we start with the stock market, which is more trending, is more viral. It will lead to other business opportunities, and it's more structured. Like you have a Jamaica class. I want you to have a Curacao class that's ready to engage. And the people in Texas, they'll be leading that. I think, brother from Haiti. But you look at Guyana and Suriname has the Maroons, which are in touch with Trinidad. Guyana has CARICOM, which we know is a top-down, elite, and internationally controlled thing. But they have neighborhood village councils and African villages in Guyana. So we look at that. In Jamaica, I think they call it the Village Corporation or Community Development Ministry. You look at the different village development systems in the Caribbean. I think you call it consejos or councils in Cuba and Curacao. You look at the councils and you line them all up and you put a program together. But of course,
Right.
colonization, they're all under different names. It took a long time to figure out what is what. But we say this is the UNIA. We have village councils, town halls built into our government. House of Chiefs in Africa, we line it all up. We teach the program and we show that there's benefits to thinking the way we do. And I know, for example, the Liberia thing, they're connected to the Mano River Union. 4 countries, a lot of them are tribal states. And like for example, a parish in Jamaica would be a tribal nation. Uh, Greetings, brother Rodney. I got my brother. You there, Rodney?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey,
Hi
man.
everyone on this group.
Peace, peace. This is my,
Hello.
it's my, it's our
Yeah,
Haitian,
I'm Rodney.
it's our brother from the Caribbean. He's in Jacksonville too. We're just discussing the Lakou, the councils. We're just discussing the councils, and we're going to go to the newspaper and how we're going to make money with the Caribbean and Africa. So we're almost about to finish up. But thank you for showing up, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother.
Yeah, Gran Lakou Jacksonville.
Yeah, it is Gran Lakou. Yeah,
Yeah,
the best
Lakou,
empire.
Lakou in Creole means courtyard. So
Yeah,
they
yeah, go yard.
they
Yeah.
have the compounds, just like the captured lands movement in Jamaica, where they have captured lands and they have the crown lands, British. Haiti took back basically the French crown land and they set up like their village in a crown in a circle. So that's the African way of making empires. So we're saying we could do the same thing in Jamaica with the captured land. Just it's about sharing the culture and looking at the different islands and how we could duplicate the things. Town councils, town halls. How are we going to spread the information? So that's basically it. I don't have much to say. I was just ending off in Africa. There's multiple countries. The Sahel Alliance is like 3 states. Mano River Union, 4 states. The East African Federation stretches from Somalia down to Congo and I think Angola. So these are the United States of Africa movements that we have, and I think Eastern Nigeria will be the linchpin. Ghana, Ivory Coast, the Akan, the Togo, the Ewe. I think if we start in Nigeria, that everybody's going to say, "Oh, they're finally doing it again." The Igbos are starting the whole United States of Africa movement, and the rest of West Africa will follow. It won't be everybody, the world, the way the world is, but you can get large villages and kingdoms. Accra is a kingdom in itself. They're connected to Nigeria. So a lot of these capitals and cities you think are hard to organize, if they see the other countries that people don't talk about lining up and activating their federations, you're going to see a domino effect. And the Caribbean is a federation in itself when we start organizing this. So it's going to be a bigger group call, but that's what we're doing. And again, with Jacksonville, I have an offer to put all this into they said a 400 word, uh, basically document, and they're going to publish it in the newspaper. And we have access to a newspaper, and they have their own government structure, and they could work with us to develop something on ground in Jacksonville. So that's basically it. We can conclude and move on to other cities, I think, and see what happens. But that's basically it.
Nice.
But
The brethren who are just tuning in, could you give your an introduction of yourself
me?
and your motivation towards the movements?
Are you talking to the brother who just joined, or me?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that
man, the brethren join. Yeah.
brother Rodney. Want you to introduce yourself, where you're from, and
Yeah,
things.
I'm Rodney. I'm from Haiti. I live in Jacksonville.
Right, right.
The Empire of Haiti.
Yeah, the empire in Haiti.
They offer black people citizenship if they feel enslaved. If you
I'm
step
supposed to
land on
participate
it,
on this group
you're a citizen.
for all island in the Caribbean. That's fine.
Yeah, and to this day, a lot of our Caribbean countries are still under European empires. The USA government came in and scared everybody. Yeah, we're all at work. The USA government scared people from joining Haiti, and a lot of the Caribbean countries are still under some sort of European king. And you see what happened with Grenada. They try to start the village movement and link with Cuba and different countries. They try to do their own thing, and U.S. government invaded them too. Invaded Haiti, stole the gold, changed the constitutions. So it's that's what it is. We have to just change things up. But we could. I think we should end the call here.
Oh,
That's okay,
yeah.
but we'll follow up with a larger call and see about grassroots connections. We have people on ground in Jamaica, the Biafra government. They're going to declare themselves a country in a couple days, and a couple 2 weeks maybe, and we need African support and contacts for saying why they're going to be declaring themselves independent. Are they using the UNIA Constitution, saying they're going to spread it throughout their villages and communities? Are they working with Pan African context? So that's the context we have to put forward. It shouldn't be in Africa. We have everybody saying they want to be an independent country. They want to get rid of the colonizers, but then you're not working together. So we're working together now to say this is how we're going to structure the Caribbean, Africa, and the Marcus Garvey way. So It's a you know what goes on in Jamaica with the Marcus Garvey's name. It took a long time just to get to this point. So that's what it
Right,
is. All right,
right.
we can end it. It's been at an hour, but I'll follow up. We have Jacksonville support. It's okay.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, give thanks to the moment and, and the thanks for the invitation to I and I to come together to do some work,
Hmm.
an operation movement and,
I would like to
we
ask.
have,
I would like to ask because this is. I'm gonna stick to my guns. That it's a lot of people I see in USA. They don't. Let me put it like this: 12 years ago, it came out that the Marcus Garvey movement, when it's at its height, it was really a West Indian fellowship group. Like they were promoting it the most. They're like, this is a way to meet, this is a way to discuss our issues, and we're going to work with African Americans who have the numbers. So it was a collaboration. But a lot of the time now, people don't want to acknowledge even that there's research showing that the Caribbean is the base. So I would like to ask, are you familiar with the Ministry of Community Development? I know Jamaica's not all black at the top at the government, and the whole issue of brown versus black versus maroon. But it's like, are you familiar with any community development, local development? I've heard of parish, municipality councils, and corporations, and different ways to develop government or spread government news or at the community level. Are you familiar with any
well,
of that?
I am familiar with the Mont Community Development Committee.
Mm,
I was the vice president for that group.
mm. Okay, so I'm looking at Kingston as having a different, like a Bahamas ambassador. There's a Nigerian commission, embassy of Nigeria that reaches Belize, which we have contact with their councils and leaders. Haiti, Dominican
So
Republic, and then
what
Trinidad, of course. And the 10 countries are connected to Nigerian embassies. There's a Bahamas embassy as well, and the Haiti embassy, or that's connected to Kingston. So it's a lot, or Nigerians connected to Haiti. Nigerian embassy is connected to Haiti and about 9 other countries in Kingston. So
okay.
it's like Kingston. We have the county system, 3 county system, where we could look at the maroon villages to be part of the league and anchor things as far as pilgrimage and travel. But there's a lot of ways to take the crown lands to Africa. Um, and Accra is a big kingdom, but when we go to West Africa, the issue with us, a lot of our kingdoms, they don't agree with who's the capital. They say they're all related, but they're not. Like, oh, who's the capital? Who's gonna get this money and that? So
You know,
we'll have to settle that. I think through the Mali Empire. But a lot of us are we're all related, but it's just like martial arts kingdoms. The leader, the community says our community is better. So, just like the Asian martial arts, that's what our African villages are. And the kings they're fighting over the number one headband or the number one crown. So that's how I describe it. But
you
well,
see,
yeah.
what
Every-
I'm looking at, as a young, we are now emerging from out of the wilderness. We have a urge of getting the thing what others have never done. You know, we would like to do it, but in order we have to strategize ourselves in that position. Now we have to study what the persons them that was doing the work are still doing the work. What is um their failure or what is their downfallment from the time they have been in the leadership position to lead, what alter them. We have to take a note of all of those things and
Mhm.
and put it to context,
Mhm.
because most of the group from the Caribbean straight back to Africa, that what we know about, we have to get inside all these groups, them leading groups, and see what their deficiencies like and what we can do to help
Mhm.
to move
I
what
want to.
alter the movement shall move.
I want to
So
make.
we
I want to make it a note before we close. Just that we're looking at Jamaica as having a Biafra, Eastern Nigeria, basically human rights leader, ambassador, or liaison on ground. Jamaica is one of the only countries in the Caribbean that has a liaison. So we're looking at physically meeting. I don't know if they live in Kingston, might be possible,
right.
but we're gonna have to set up
I have a
a
group.
physical
I have
event.
a human rights group in Kingston, you know.
Yeah.
So I think I can put them on this put a one on this platform,
hmm
you know, and
So
we can discuss the way forward with them.
and Trinidad is going to be on the next call. I think they have the Americans, basically they're African American Maroons that were handed land and developed villages all over Trinidad. Then they inspired some of the churches, so they have a lot of the town halls. It could be through the spiritual Baptist, the shouters, and they're connected to African Americans in Jacksonville. They call them Gullah Geechee. They've been historically discriminated for being more connected to Africa, but it's something we're working on. But there's people excited. I'll say that we have connected these groups.
Okay.
Yeah, they have Caribbean heritage in USA, Bahamas, Barbados, and Trinidad is where the Gullah Geechee African Americans basically landed. And Jacksonville is named after Andrew Jackson, who killed some of them trying to escape to Bahamas and Haiti. So that's why they named it Andrew Jacksonville, because he killed black people trying to get to the Caribbean. So
Yeah.
that's America.
Yeah. No, you see, Virgin, we have a rich history,
Yep.
what cannot be denied either, you know. And why, to tell you the truth, what we need is firstly is to have that same town hall meeting where not electronics, but face to face meeting, call a proper meeting and with application, or we put application online like what the brethren have said, and get people signed into the movements that we are developing now, you
hmm
know. And by no time we are on our way, because people are searching to find the right place to lay their head,
Yeah. And
so
when I've been
we
in,
need
I'll go ahead.
uh,
Go ahead.
yeah, man. Like I said, people are searching to find the right group to move with.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that what we are coming with is
Mhm.
show them that we are dealing with accountability and transparency, honesty, all those things. So we have to make sure the right thing are placed in our and at jumpstart, you
Mhm.
know.
Our
So
elder, our
we have
the Constitution
we,
I'm using is more based on it's flexible. It could be a household because it says
mhm,
it basically says adults in Swahili and a basically a document keeper, somebody who keeps records and keeps people to the letter. So it could be two friends. It could be it could be adapted to your household. It could be a branch. So it's very flexible. To basically two people are needed to really start, or even one person really, because you're looking at somebody who could keep the documents in order and keep people the documents. So
right,
you could just add an adult, Ross or
right.
anybody like that. So it was actually frustrating that it took so long, but then you compare it's 100-year-old movement. So I said 6 years wasn't that
Yeah,
long, but we're here. So oh, yeah,
yeah, man. Just do put all those things together, and we move forward.
mhm,
Because we are bridging that's what like small in number and not very
mhm.
large, but probably large and don't know.
I'll
But
tell you.
yeah,
I'll tell you
yeah,
something.
people,
I need to tell you something because I'm born in the USA, but most of my family is overseas. I haven't lived there. I've lived most of my life here, but What it is, sometimes there's a competition between people who are on ground in the country and people who left, where the people who left should be the ambassadors and walk you through to the land and connect you to grassroots leaders. But sometimes people over here in the States or who left, they want to be the leader. They want to block you from access to the people on ground. So my thing is, to get around that, I said if I have direct contact and there are no gatekeepers, I can have direct contact on the ground. People over here who fly the flag of Jamaica or Trinidad or whatever, they'll have to react to what's going on in the ground where the culture is changing. Because people over people, people are not straightforward, and that's Nigeria, that's Ghana, that's everywhere. Like there's a difference between people who left and people who stayed on ground, what they're willing to accept or work with, which is unfortunate, but that's my experience. Like,
All right.
yeah.
What what you should do is send me a application. Cause we in the urge of getting some we have on the ground some UNIA members. So we want to send me some application that means we can sign up as members of this
So
group,
I
you
have a,
know.
I have a, I have a constitution. I have a constitution with, but I don't have any application now. The what he was talking about, the CBPM is basically connected to the UNIA with Michael Duncan and them. They don't operate the same way as I'm doing, but we will have an electric application eventually. There's a person on ground in Jamaica that you can discuss that with, and I'm actually relying on Jamaica of all the cities and countries to actually kind of headquarters this because we don't have, like, for example, in the city where I'm in, we don't have a self determination activist from Biafra, from Igbo land, with 50 million
All right,
people. We don't have that
all right.
in where but Jamaica does. Kingston does.
My my aim and objective is to put Marcus Garvey where Marcus Garvey birthplace is in Jamaica.
St.
That
Anne's
is
Day.
my that is sentence be right. That is my urge from over the years to do. So if this is the moment, it is the moment. The head teacher, the principal of the Marcus Garvey high school came out a few weeks ago and said they need a gathering of the Marcus Garvey of Garveyites. Well,
You,
I don't see that yet. So probably this can be opportunity to place the movement, rise it from there and it spread worldwide.
yeah, and
And it can get
this is a funny thing. Garveyites, a lot of people, in my experience, they twist the words to make, and they start to turn into politicians like Nkrumah and things like that. The African
mm,
politicians and saying you need a vote. That was Garvey was not voting. He was meeting with African villages. He was going through the Caribbean. He was teaching people about making knights, making dudes, teaching people about Haile Selassie. Then he turned on Haile Selassie, but he was teaching basically people how to be like Rasta, how to learn African royalty, family, living African style, and
you
that's
see,
culture. Now people are all suit and tie and blah blah blah, and they're all no. It was African culture, royalty. There was a royal court reception. That's why Haiti would have been perfect because they have the royal courts in every village. They call it Lakou. It's French for court. That
you
every
see,
UNIA branch should have a royal court annually. That's in their constitution. They ignore it. That's why Haile Selassie was elevated because he was going to be basically the emperor of the UNIA. He's going to be the figurehead. So it was always
you,
about royalty, royal court, and people lie about it. They're not Garveyites.
you see what I look into, Marcus Garvey has said what man have done, man can do, you know. And while we are aging, things are evolving, so we can take the Marcus Garvey springboard and launch it. Now the enemies, they read the philosophy and opinion of Marcus Garvey and they know about Marcus Garvey more than enough of we who have the appetite to champion Garvey's work do. So they will know if you are going to east by reading the Marcus Garvey works, they will know where you are heading to. So Marcus Garvey have made mention that what man have done, man can do. So there are some times when we have to change the pattern on them in order to get the work done properly. You know? So these are the things then what we have to do. We take the springboards, so sometime, like what I said, we have to change the pattern on them.
Yep. We got it. Yeah. I'll add you to the bigger group, and we'll continue there. But I only have much to say. I just want to
Right.
say Jamaica and Trinidad were the British, we're determined to be British Caribbean headquarters. Where if we do it in there, it'll spread out to other countries. Like we tried to do the same thing with Saint Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla, because there's a ambassador there in Anguilla, but we couldn't make the connection, and they don't have the same village or town hall system built into their government. It's just maybe a prime minister will do a town hall, and we tried to do the Naya Bingi to host the town halls, but they said there were maybe 20 members only who were serious. So we said, let's go back to Jamaica. The Igbos just visited, and they got government connections. I don't know if you saw any Igbo events in October, but they're having some Igbo events, discussing Obia and Mayal and African culture. The Maroons, they were at some schools and festivals. It went through some parts of Jamaica, but we need to be more consistent. So
You see what I'm trying to say. Um, there's a lot of people come to Jamaica and at the base of a cultural development, trying to get people to unite and move forward. But there is a problem what most people who doing this work don't understand. The mindset of the people. How do you get in the mind of the people? That is it. That is the mystic form. Now, the universal code, which act, which is the ninth act that govern the universe. I don't see majority of who doing this work really know the activity of these nine acts and how to develop the method to get in the people's mind that they can work with the people and work with the people in a farm where they conform to what they're supposed to conform to. The white supremacy knows these acts and them use these acts on the black people. And the acts are economic, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex,
or
and war. Them know these acts and them use these acts upon our people minutely, daily. You know, if we can get the people to conform, because everyone have an appetite of these blacks in the daily movement, if we can get we rounded ourselves first and get the people on board.
we will. We
You
will.
know, that
I
they,
got.
under, that they understand themselves.
We will.
Then we have something
I gotta
in
go.
hand.
I have Bahamas is going to be involved in the next call. Hopefully, they have town committees, same thing, and they have their son. The prime minister's son is like a Pan Africanist in Ghana. He's a chief. They're ready to go. So this I don't know if they might have more contacts in government, but they just launched a HMS His Majesty Marcus Garvey battleship. So they look, Jamaica look like they're ready for war, but I'm like, you need grassroots to get into the minds of the
My
grassroots people. You can't
you
just
see
launch ships and expect something magic to happen.
you see you see my appetite is not merely the people in high places, government places. I rather take from the grassroots.
Mm.
Because the government system have been inflated and corrupt. by the Western method, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So
Mm-hmm.
people that go in those places have a touch of that corruption within them, you know.
Mm.
So we have to get free mind people,
The Western
and we
Parliament
are free
system.
mind people out there.
And
So
what?
my appetite is not merely round these type of people. I know them,
Mhm. Everyone knows each
you know.
other.
So we and they are easy to control too, you know, because they already know the metal and everything. So they are easy to control, but they are afraid of numbers. So if we can get numbers, they will come on board.
And so, are you in? So you said you're in Montego Bay. You know people in Kingston, and the brother Ayakongoy, Chief Ayakongoy, he said that he has kids ready in Hanover. If we have a
Right, right.
computer program,
That's a good virgin. It's a good virgin.
yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
the way I want to rotate it because the Maroons are always looking for partnership, and they split up into what they used to call in Jamaica the county system. You know the county system where the parishes were divided into three.
Yeah, man. Cornwall, Middlesex, and sorry.
Yeah, so it will make the information move forward instead of saying 14 parishes and everyone fight. No, we'll say okay, everyone do what you gotta do, spread out, and then if there's an issue, maybe you meet at one of these Maroon Town headquarters or whatever headquarters the whatever the headquarter of the county is. You just meet there in central. It'll make things move faster. It's just a basic way to make things move faster. Looking at
But
the three counties.
what
3
I'm saying to you, my brethren,
Mm-hmm.
we have no wicked things move in every era. Not everyone in the world where we go have the same mindset. So we have to study the people on the ground that
Mm-hmm.
we can have a proper communication, because you can come and yeah, you're from USA and people will gravitate to you here, but
Mm-hmm.
do you the message that you bring, will they
Mm-hmm.
observe it? How do you bring it across? These are the things. Because
Mm-hmm.
you will get a lot of people, and a lot of people come and yes, you say was successful, and when you look a year after, you don't see no success from what you bring to the table. You don't see nothing at all. So
Mm-hmm.
these are the things then what we have to know, that when we connect properly and we have the people at hand, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to know the mentality of the people that we are dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
and what we bring to them, they absorb it and it maintain with them, just like how Willie Lynch bring him thing to the table until the American slave masters say, when I give you this, it will last you 200 years, and it did last you 200 years. So those are the metal we have to develop. That is the reason why I mentioned the nine act that govern the universe. You know, so you know the mentality of the people wherever you go. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that is a way how we can free our people from the mental slavery that we are into right now.
Mm-hmm. I have
You
to
know?
I have to go to work now, so we'll,
Right?
we'll follow up.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, and yeah, thank you for everything. We're gonna see
Okay.
how this goes. I'll
All
follow
right.
up.
Give that.
Thank you. Give